In this PowerPoint, I will be discussing the asset-based approach within the bioecological approach to support learners in the classroom. Firstly, let us identify the two approaches. The bioecological approach shows us how individual people and groups at different levels of society are linked in dynamic, interdependent, interacting relationships. The asset-based approach, also referred to as the glass half full approach, here we focus on assets, strengths, capacities, and resources which are available but has not necessarily been utilized yet. The relationship between the bioecological model and the asset-based approach. The bioecological model focuses on the interconnections of multiple systems. As part of the asset-based approach to discover, trade, deploy, and manage assets, many systems coexist. The asset-based strategy is a mechanism for exchanging and developing assets within constructive relationships with others. Using the technique in one classroom does not imply that assets were just discovered and mobilized in that classroom, but rather across the entire school and community. In an asset-based classroom, the instructor and students engage with the many systems of the bioecological model. Other people may become aware of the presence of assets and capacities as a result of system engagement. In practice, this may be accomplished by sending asset maps home with students to assist them in identifying and mobilizing assets. Change could be the reason for a transition from a needs-based to an asset-based approach. The bioecological model recognizes contributions at the micro, meso, exo, and macro levels. It is important in understanding how solutions to social concerns cannot be divorced from the larger social environment. The notion of asset-based management entails a two-way dynamic interplay between all role players. Without movement or involvement, the asset is useless to the individual. A skill, talent, gift, resource, ability, or strength must be accessible, achievable, and functional in order to be considered an asset. Integrating the asset-based approach within the context of the bioecological approach. As a result, it is critical to understand that a strength-based approach is not about neglecting needs or ignoring obstacles, but rather about focusing on your strengths. A new quest for information on strengths and capacities, addressing a major knowledge vacuum in psychology that might lead to important and comprehensive theoretical breakthroughs. Supplementing, not replacing, what is known as human sorrow, weakness, and disorder. Rather than ignore difficulties, deal with them in a good manner with the application of bioecological and asset-based techniques. We looked at how a teacher may apply the bioecological and asset-based approaches to human development in classrooms. These two ways should be used to assist students by building a positive psychological viewpoint on what it means to be a human being. Remember that the bioecological approach indicates the domains that are assumed to impact human development, and the asset-based approaches assist us in balancing the requirements and assets in each of these domains. We employ a technique called asset mapping to do this. We looked at how a teacher may apply the bioecological and asset-based approaches to human development in classrooms. These two ways should be used to assist students by building a positive psychological viewpoint on what it means to be a human being. Remember that the bioecological approach indicates the domains that are assumed to impact human development, and the asset-based approaches assist us in balancing the requirements and assets in each of these domains. We employ a technique called asset mapping to do this.